What up? What up? It's your boy Zeke, man. W's in the chat. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns for getting the dub, man. Victory Monday. With the 24 to 10 dub over the Las Vegas Raiders. Or how Chris Brown used to say, the Raiders. Man, big shout out to the boys. Shedeur Sanders' first start. 11 to 20, 209, one touchdown, one pick, solid outing. This was a defensive dominated game. The Browns had 10 sacks with Myles Garrett leading the way. He had three. Carson Schwarzenegger, 11 tackles. Devin Bush with a sack. Isaiah McGuire with a sack. Cam Thomas with a sack. Like I said, Miles had three. Mike Hogg is half a sack. Malik Collins, two and a half. Shelby Harris, a half. Jerome Baker, a half. I ain't even see Jerome Baker play. He got half a sack. The defense did what they needed to do. Miles had two forced fumbles. One ended up being an actual takeaway. So really good job by that. The game started a little slow. Uh, really, I think the first touchdown set up by Gage Larvin, punt return that went for 44 yards and got an extra 15 tacked on the end because of the punter tripping, like literally tripping. Which eventually led to a Quinshon Judkins wild dog touchdown. Um, and then we had a explosives, pew, 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 explosive. If you've seen the Jonathan Gannon video, you understand that. Explosives by Shedeur Sanders rolled to his right, throw beautiful pass straight dot to one Isaiah Bond for I think 50 plus yards. Um, which eventually led to another Quinshon Judkins wild dog touchdown. Um, and then it was pretty close. Or it was basically 14-3 for a good portion of the game. And then the put the icing on the cake in the fourth quarter, a little swing pass screen to Dylan Sampson where he did the rest and took it 66 yards. That's where Shedeur Sanders got his touchdown. He threw a pick earlier in the game that wasn't in particular what you would have wanted. He got fooled. It was a edge that dropped back into coverage that was supposed to have the flats, but he stared down the curl, so he kind of jumped that and made that play. So shout out to him for making the play. But outside of that, he played fairly well. Like I said, explosives name of the game, the pass to Bond, Sampson taking that screen 66, and then a 39 yarder to one Jerry Judy who decided to lollygag and fumbled on the play in true Jerry Judy fashion. Um, but overall, man, I think a solid outing from Shedeur Sanders, who uh not at the end of the game, but now has been named the starter for the foreseeable future, in particular this game. So shout out to um, the young bull. Sorry, I'm having issues. My AirPods are just doing something like super weird right now. Anyway, Quinshon Judkins not effective on the yards per carry basis, 16 for 47 yards, which wasn't the best, but like I mentioned, the two touchdowns. But you see it, man. Like the Browns got to get more creative in the run game to find some alleys and stop just running him into the pile of players, uh, for lack of better words. Dylan Sampson, 7 carries for 23 yards. He had like a 26 yarder. So he had -3 yards on the other six carries. But he looked explosive today. I don't know if it was because he was playing inside, but I didn't know that he was, that explosive and being able to showcase that in the running game and the pass game. Hopefully he gets more touches. So he had two catches and then he had like 7 carries. So like that 9 to 10 touch range, I think is where he needs to be in the foreseeable future. Harold Fannin had 4 catches for 40 yards, but two of the most uh big boy catches. Hold on, sorry. These headphones are killing me. Anyway, with two of the biggest, like best, most big boy catches that I've seen in a while. Both of those they came on some short yardage passes where like one was like a little out. He took that and broke it for a first down. And the next one was like a third and like 12 backed up on like the inside the five, where Shedeur just kind of lobbed it up over the line. And then he took that pass. He broke some tackles and eventually got the first down, man. So he's a dog. Just keep giving him the ball, and I think the Browns are going to be just fine. Outside of that, not really much going on offensively. I think the Browns got to figure out a way. The Browns, aka Kevin Stefanski and Tommy Reese, got to figure out a way to make this team more efficient on a play-to-play basis. I think that's something where they really struggled at. You got the explosives this game, which I'm never gonna say explosives are bad. Explosives are always good, and we haven't had explosives all year. Something that they're going to need to do is be able to down to down, play to play, be better. One thing, stop running it on first down every time, and you know, and get that quick gain for 5 yards, for 4 yards on first down, and then to be a drive starter. Then maybe you can run, then you can play action, then you can hit a screen, something to string together a better set of plays. They haven't been able to do that fairly consistently at all this season and really the last 2 years. But yeah, like Stefanski. Get back in your bag. I've been saying it all year. Get back in your bag in the screen game. You ain't lost it. I promise you, you ain't. Those players are still there. He needs to get heavy into that because teams are just putting a lot of it in the box. So you gotta get creative. Whether it's tight end screens, whether it's the end arounds to Malachi Corley, which they tried, it didn't work today, or yesterday rather. Tunnel screens, quick screens, smoke screens. There's a lot of different ways to kind of manufacture that offense. Play action screens. I think that can be super effective with the way that teams are playing the Browns. So yeah, just being able to string together a larger quantity of plays more consistently, I think would be great for what this offense can do. Shedeur, from what I saw on my vantage point, um, the best thing that he did was not retreat. A lot less floating, a lot less drifting in the pocket, more decisive, which seemed to be good. Something that pissed me off personally is it was two plays that I can count. It might have been more where receivers started running. Jerry Judy down the sideline, and then another one down the sideline to Cedric Tillman. I think the Judy one wasn't really catchable, but like the Tillman one, like if he kept running, it would have been a jump ball at the goal line. Like you have to keep running. I know they like maybe not used to having somebody to throw it down there, but man, run every play like it's your last, dog. Because you never know. Go make a play. Go be an athlete. Go make a play. He's giving you a chance to win downfield. So, run every play like it's the last play of the Super Bowl. And I think that should just be your mentality anyway. Uh, but yeah, this offense needs to get jump started, particularly in the passing game. I think if you can do that, then you'll be able to have those more favorable situations to run where you're running on a 2nd and 6 instead of a 1st and 10 where it's super predictable. You're running on a 2nd and 2, some stuff like that. And then also getting Junkins involved in the screen game. I think because he's been your best player on offense essentially all season. Just let him rock, man. Try to get him outside on the edges. He's able to be a one cut back downhill. He's able to read and some stuff like that. And instead of just running him up the middle, inside zone and duo and all that other stuff, where it's just in the middle and they just loading the interior. Well, it ain't been the strength. And like running out of the gun. I don't know how many times I've seen him run out of the gun. I'm sure he has. I would love to see that split. But yeah, like run it where we got like four wide. You know what I'm saying? Where you get a lighter box. Like they're not making the game easier on themselves. Actually, now I'm interested. I want to go back and watch all of Quinshon Judson's carries from last week and just see like how often was like the splits and all that kind of stuff. I'm interested now. I've gave myself an idea. Uh, but yeah, it's a lot to work on, man. But overall, pleased with Shedeur Sanders. Like I said, he was named the starter um, going into the week against San Francisco. Not too much of my surprise, honestly. I think that he earned it. First of all, he did the most important things. When I didn't got a dub, he didn't take over the game, but he also didn't throw the game away, which is super important. After the Browns got their 14-3 lead, he managed the game well, not putting the ball in harm's way. He played very well off structure. That's where like basically the two of his three biggest plays came from. playing off structure, playing off schedule. Now, if we can get him consistently in rhythm on schedule, but like I said, that's going to come down to let's get some of that play action going. Let's get the running game going. Let's get some screens in there that actually make sense. Like the screen to Samson blocked perfectly. That's as perfectly as they blocked anything all season. The Browns made a concerted effort to roll the pocket out with some natural rollouts, also, which I think was really good, which you want to see from the young quarterback, uh, you know, protecting him. But yeah, so just being able to, build a quarterback friendly offense. Like I said, I think it's a good start on for this first start, first preparation. And also, like I said, first start, first week getting real reps with the ones and the real Shedeur Sanders game plan. I think it's going to expand and the offense is going to open up more with each start. And like I said, you didn't really have to because the way the defense was playing, and I feel like I've seen Stefanski for long enough, man. I kind of know how he thinks, and it showed at the end of the game, like being super conservative. I think once the lead got to, I think it was 14-0 in the first quarter and it was 14-3 at halftime. Once he seen that, he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna coast. Yeah, like we just gonna coast. We're not gonna put the ball in harm's way. We're gonna keep this shit real vanilla." I've seen it too many times, and like I said, I don't necessarily disagree with it. I understand, but you're gonna need more play to play from Shedeur as the season goes on. But I think he'll also have more opportunity to do some of that because yeah, it's going to call for it. But like, for lack of better words, the Raiders offense was pretty helpless today or yesterday. So, solid B, I think for Shador. Got the win, created explosives, which we haven't had all season. Got you a touchdown in there. Yeah, you had a pick. You're a rookie. You got fooled. I'm not too worried about that. Only took one sack. It was only 3 yards. I love it. Straight cinema. Um, You go into a San Francisco game to a defense that's riddled with injuries. No Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner. They're missing a lot of other guys. No Michael Williams, their first round draft pick. So he should be able to make some plays. This defense hasn't really been particularly good for most of the year. So some stuff is going to be there. Some stuff is definitely going to be there. So I love to see, how the playbook opens up a little bit more in the second start, and then in San Francisco is going to be able to move the ball and score some points. So seeing how he plays in more of a competitive game, see how the more of the competitive game is coached from that point on, and like just seeing, how he reacts, how the play calling reacts, and what the Browns end up doing on that, man. I'm super interested, excuse me, in seeing that. I just seen something crazy. The Browns had 10 sacks for 80 yards. They had 80 yards worth of sacks, which is crazy. Which is like more individual yards than any individual player in this game. That's insane. But yeah, so I'd love to see that open up.